using a technique called metal stamping. So, but before that, this is what we are going to need. I'll be using a standard size card folded at 5.5. This is natural white. We need a cardstock that has a little bit more body for this card. And also, when you cut the sheet is like this. You cut it, it's 8.5, so you cut it in half. We'll be using the other half to do our metal stamping. So, I need to put some of this. If you haven't seen my tutorial on this, or if you haven't tried it yet, this is fairly simple. You just have to follow the steps very carefully. I measured 3.5 inches out of this piece of scrap paper, and it's 4 1/4 wide, because we're going to be cutting and using some framelits to make the tag. So the first thing you need to do, get your Versamark. I will be using my second one, the one that's already kind of grimy. It's not grimy actually, it's just really used. And smoosh the Versamark all over the paper. And get your pewter embossing powder and sprinkle all over it. So you want to cover the whole surface. We'll be repeating this about 4 times. So the idea is to have a little pool of embossing powder. Okay, once it's melted, you want to wait until it's cold to the touch. You don't want to press the Versamark pad straight on it while it's still hot, because it's gonna the powder that's melted is gonna transfer to the pad. So just wait a little bit and do it again. Every time you do it, it gets easier and easier. The powder gets melted faster because the paper is already warm. So I'm going to be doing this 4 times. So this is the end of my 3rd time, and before I start the 4th time, I will leave my stamp at the ready. I am going to use the Christmas Lodge stamp set and the Sending Wishes of Happy Holidays to You and Yours stamp. And it's already mounted. And what you want to do is cover it with Versamark, the same Versamark, just because we'll be stamping on hot surface and you want to protect the rubber. Okay, so stamp is waiting and ready to go. So I'll just do my last Versamark cover. You get to stamp and you press it on and hold it down until the paper cools off a little. There you go. That was a really, really good impression. Now to make the tag, I thought that the framelit, the Apothecary Accents framelit, this one will look really good, and it fits the stamp really well. So that's exactly what we're going to do. Once it comes out, the big shot, oops, this is what you're going to get. And it's really easy to just remove the edgelet. And now I need an edge, so I think that the edgelets, the adorning accents edgelet will work really well with that. And as you can see, I already used it before. We have the right width for the card already, so all we need to do here is center. This is not helping. Center the edgelet to the paper. So we can use the mat for that actually. Make sure it's straight. You can use this for another card if you want, so I wouldn't throw it away. We will be using this part here. There, we can keep that aside as well. So now to the card. First thing to do is to cover the entire front of the card. I am using the Be of Good Cheer DSP, so we're just going to cover the whole front with that one, and this one is going to go underneath after we cut it. And we'll use the edgelet again to give like a nice edge to the bottom of the card. And in this case, again, I will be centering the card onto my mat, and the edgelet will be 1 inch from the border. And now we'll be using the coordinating stripes from the same Be of Good Cheer DSP, and this is 4 1/4 by 2.5. So that's just going to go down on the bottom here. So this is the effect that you get. That's what's going to look like on this side. Now back to our tag. You want to put some adhesive, stamp dimension is on the bottom, but on the top part and the bottom part only, not in the middle, because we will be running a ribbon through the middle. And I'm going to use the 1/16 circle punch to find the middle of the edges here. So this is where the ribbon is going to run through. I am going to be using the Cherry Cobbler seam ribbon, the seam binding ribbon, and because I want the bow to be on the right hand side, I will be threading it from the top on the left. And this ribbon is kind of finicky to thread because it frays so easily, but if you have something like this tool here, it makes it much easier. So this is how it's going to go. The first part is going to be on the front, and then the other portion is going to hug the card, and we'll have our bow to the right. I made one card earlier just to try out the technique and see what it looked like. And so what I did the opposite. I did this print on the bottom and this on the top. I actually used a little rhinestone there that we can also do here. right on top of that curve. And that's it. I hope you enjoyed it and you join me tomorrow for day number 8. Thank you.